Hello, this is Beanie here. Nice to see all of you. Can you hear me and see my screen? For those in YouTube, because the session is being streamed to YouTube as well as in Zoom. For those in Zoom, can you see and hear me? Okay, that's good. How about for those in YouTube? Can you see and hear me as well? Okay, that's good. I think everything is good. All right, good that we are here. Today, what I like to cover is I like to share with you what I'm doing almost every day, meaning that I also trade the FX. I also trade stocks as well, whether it's Hong Kong or Singapore or US. All right, I'm doing many instruments. I just want to share what I'm doing, and then one of things that you might want to explore, especially now we have the Black Friday promotion going on. I mean, not only for myself, Black Friday promotion, but also TradingView. I'm not promoting TradingView, but then we have TAT, which is the signals, the systems that I've created and in TradingView. So let me just get started. Okay, as usual, the disclaimer, whatever that's being covered here, it's not financial advice or not recommendation for any investment products. If there's things that I can't answer, that's because probably they are in the area of financial advice. All right, so a few things to cover today on screening and going forward, and also our special deal, especially that just to again rehash is that the course that I'm running, which is TOR Pro, is going to have a very steep price increase next year in Jan. So that's why it's good to sign up. But anyway, we will just go through, and I just like to share what I have with you here. Okay, it doesn't mean that I need you to purchase the product, but really more on just going through the sharing for you to understand a little bit more. Because I do have my students here who are also listening to these sessions, and then they are here also to learn how to use whatever that I'm sharing for their investment and trading as well. You can't see me because I'm in my pajamas. I mean, it's 9:03 now in Singapore. Who is not from Singapore? Let me know. We do have from Singapore and Malaysia, but in case that you are from any other countries, do type in the chat and let me know. So if you know me, I'm speaking and investing and trading, and not one of my hobbies, my only hobby is to invest and trade. And I look at the charts on my phone almost the moment I open my eyes and before I sleep. That's my only thing that I do. Okay, I remember that there's this Japanese show which is Daimon Michiko. So she's acting a surgeon, and she said that her only hobby is to operate, which is to do surgery. I was at Jackie Chong concert, and he said that he really, really loved to sing. So I can say I really, really love to look at the charts and then whatever that I look at, right, and put it to work and hopefully to make money, and which I am actually quite okay now, meaning that yes, can I retire? Yes, I can. But do I want? No, I don't want. Do I want to continue to do this? Yes, I want, because then it's my hobby, right? And I really like to talk. I like to share. I like to know that whatever I'm doing is right, and that's my hobby. Okay, all right, then just to give you a little bit of introduction here is that yes, I do run courses. In my younger days, people ask then, if you are successful, why are you running courses? Well, I don't want to answer this question anymore, because if you look at people who are really successful like Warren Buffett, I mean, at such an old age, why isn't he retiring, and why is he still investing and then going around buying and selling, etc. So it's the same idea here. So yes, we provide 2 courses, and then we do have 7 coaching webinars a week, and that's really a lot. It's almost like one session a day for a duration of 1 year. What do we talk about? We talk about anything that can really move, whether they are Forex, they are gold, or they are stocks, you know. So we are not really restricted to Forex only. And how do we do that? Automations, meaning that I trade with automations. My clients, my students do as well. And this is one of the things I would like to share. How do you use all these systems to help you? I don't want to blow it up to say that, okay, this is quant, this is AI. I mean, it's that 20, 30 years ago, we were already programming things and then using computers to look at charts and already doing the signals already. I think that whether it's quant or whether it's AI, it's a little bit overblown, right? But really, yes, we are using machines to help us to calculate certain price levels, to look at the trends, and then to use it across any instruments. And yes, can it be predictive? Yes, it can, because basically this is what the method is about. Okay. So let me just talk about the new AI. It really is a new AI because it's a different way of calculating. It's about math, and it's the one that just launched about 3 months ago, I think, or maybe 4 months ago, and the name is called TAT. It's a extension or advancement, all right, to the old version, which is called TAT, TAD, right? So because we upgraded that, we had also a new facelift, a new name, and then that's the new name, right? So I thought that it'd be good to just share a little bit more on the features of TAT, and so you know that what I'm going to talk about today, predominantly, I will be sharing more on the scanning feature. Okay, so let's take a look at this video here, which we have created for you. No audio? I think that the sound cannot go through to you.
When you see this green arrow over here,
I don't mean to show the other one. Okay, I think that the sound cannot be transmitted, but that's not the key intention. You can hear. Okay, that's good. So it gives you a little bit of an overview about what TAT is, but what I'm really interested to show you it's this scanning feature. Okay, that means that, let's say for example, you have a list of stocks, and how do you really scan this list of stocks? All right, one thing is you only go through the favorite list and then you look through one by one, or you don't mind getting new opportunities, right? And then you want to scan through them. So a lot of time, there are a few components here. Number one, I explained this. One is that the scanning helps you to find stocks which usually you might not pay attention to. Okay. Now, number two is that sometimes you get very busy. Then the scanning would help you to point to the stocks. Now, I'm just to talk about one part of the trades that I'm doing. It's automation, meaning that everything is automated and people would like to just click one button and everything all done for them. That means that there's one part of the trading community where they are looking for a system that keep trading for them. That means that keep on going trading and trading, right? And they don't need to see anything, because that's where the stop loss will be put in, target profit as well, and then they just have to put in money, and that's where the trade will automatically roll from them. Okay, so that happens in the world of mostly for Forex, for indexes, for gold, etc. But the other part, right, it's on stocks where we really buy it for investment or for a slightly longer period of time. And then how do you find these stocks? All right. So this is where usually that's where the scanning happen, and this is usually where I do not like automated trading to happen. Especially for stocks, I like to place in the order myself, because it's not something where I would enter and then quickly get out type of trade. It's probably trades that I will stay for a few weeks or even months, right? So that the scanning and also a bit of a own monitoring, it helps. Okay, so this is where I built TAT for both short-term trading and long-term investment. Okay, that means that what I like to do is I like TAT to every day, either whether it's every day or every week or every hour, go through a stock list or a list of instruments that I want to monitor, and where there are signals, it will point to me and at least to let me know. Okay, so what you see on my screen right now, these are a screen capture that I did randomly to show that these are the emails that I receive every day. That means that these emails are being sent to me every day, and I do know, for example, names I never track, and I know that they happens to have a signal. For example, 2319 is this China Meng Niu, all right, and I think that when you go China to drink milk, right, you should be able to see this brand. And 1910 1910 is Samsonite Group. I think that is the luggage that everybody, most people on business travel, they would prefer to get, because I'm also using Samsonite luggage as well. The other one is this name that I've never heard of. It's called Nam Chong, for which I don't really know, and but it does bring me extra opportunity. Okay, so these are lists which are being sent to me every day. So a lot of people will ask, right, how many would I receive? It really depends on what is your watch list, because when I apply tag, right, to my watch list only. So if my watch list is, let's say, only 10 stocks, of course I may not receive an alert every day, because then it's only about scanning 10 stocks. But if, let's say, if my watch list is 1,000 stocks, for example, and it covers US, Singapore and Hong Kong, then at least one day I can get at least 10-20 stocks. Okay, and that's more than enough, because I don't think I have enough money, right, to buy or to sell or to trade, right, all the 10 or 20 stocks. Okay, so it really helps you, all right, to know which are the stocks which which maybe that rather than you hear say, these are the stocks that systematically been monitored, and it will come out to you and say that, hey, look, you might want to have a look into the stocks here. Now, so what I did was, this was being shared and I captured 10 days ago, and this was being captured randomly and then being showcased as an example of the email that I receive every day. Okay, so this will be the email here. So what I like to do is, since we received this, right, I just want to explore a little bit at the outcome of these 3 stocks here, because that's only 2319, 1910, and then Namchong Limited here, right, that show the signal, and these are the bullish signal. So we have like L bull, optimal bull, small bull, or whatever. All these are bullish signals, but they just mean different things. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to just go through the outcome, and then and if you do have questions on them, you let me know. Because the second thing that a lot of people ask me, right, is to ask me on the accuracy or on the back testing, etc. I know that you do like to know. I also like to know, but it's almost impossible for us to take all of them. So I have not tracked that, but later I will show you the stocks that I used, the portfolio that I have to, and all the stocks are being scanned and traded using TAT. So this is Samsonite. This was one of the things that's being scanned, just to let you know, to give you a little bit of a perspective in what TAT is all about. Okay, so if you look at any of the price behavior, just randomly we look at this, right? So what you do observe is that every time when price moved, let's say down, it will always goes up, something like that. When it goes down, it will goes up, it goes down, it goes up. This is how price really moved. Okay, so likewise when it is going up, okay, so let me just clean this here. Likewise, when it's going up, there will always be situation that is actually heading down, and then when it's going up, it's actually come back down, right? So in other words, when in trading, if you can find movement of it actually going higher, when it moves down, so somewhere around here before it's going to turn up, right, would be the best point for you to enter, isn't it? Because if you were to enter somewhere around here, then you are buying near the low, but you're also buying at the point, right, before it exploded upwards. So this is the whole idea behind TAT here. So what TAT it's doing is that it is monitoring into all this price action. There is a set of rules. I don't want to use very bombastic words, but yes, there are calculations mathematically on what are the best point. Yes, are we using math? Yes, we are using math, and this is part of quant as well, right? And then are we looking at some sort of AI calculating the points? Yes, we are. We are all doing all this already. Okay, but the whole underlying thing is that rather than you just manually go through them, all right, so with technology, with AI, with whatever system we did, right, you can spot them easily. Okay, so for example, what we are doing at this moment is that when it goes up, we are looking at opportunities that when it comes down, it can produce a signal before it goes up. Okay, so Samsonite was the latest signal that we saw. Okay, so this was a signal, right? And this signal tallies with this one here. That means that, remember, we have this Samsonite here on the 1910 that happens on the 10th of November. So that was the 10th of November signal that we saw here, right? Okay, so that was the 10th of November signal here. You can see my vertical line, 10th of November. And then after that, when the signal happens, it burst up because of earnings. Okay, so just to let you know what we are looking for, all right, what we are looking for in TAT is that whenever it goes up, we are waiting for it to come down and hopefully to find that tipping point so that we can enter around here. So same thing, we already tracked that there's a series of price actually going higher, And what we are doing is that we are just waiting for price to move down into our predicted calculated point, right? And then when this happens, it becomes a signal that it can be alerted to you. And once it's alerted to you, right, then you can at least know and be informed and do something. Okay. Now, yeah, I will just address this here, right? Okay, and later I will be putting in something and explain how to overcome this bearish signal here. But I want to also be responsible to you. Okay, is that when number one, I want to be responsible is that I did not do or trade or get into Samsonite, because this is not the stocks that I like to do. Okay, so likewise, even if there is a signal here, it might not be an outcome for me. Okay, it might not be a meaningful outcome for me, because I mean, every day I do get like 10, 20, even 30 signals. I can't act on all of them. So there is a list of my favorite, that a list, right, whole list of what my favorite is, and then I just do according to this favorite. So later I will show you my favorite. Okay, so likewise, right, there are also signals where it was a sell, okay, and then after that it becomes a buy, and that's where the two signals come by, and that's where there is no 100% winning signals. All right, and that's where the trade management it's important. That means that, for example, when this was a bearish signal here, so let's say, for example, if you shorted here, okay, that means that the bearish signal happened and you shorted here, right? And then this is the point that you shorted and you are waiting for it to go down, but it doesn't. Then where's the stop loss? Your stop loss could be maybe this distance above the point that you shorted. Right, so this is your loss here. So let's say, for example, you've lost 2% of your portfolio. All right. So when the next bullish signal is here, all right, let's say, for example, you long, right? And then you set in the same amount of stop loss as what you lose or what you set forth, which is actually 1 or 2% of a portfolio, right? But this one, when it goes up, it actually win you 5%, okay? But then this one, when it comes down, you make a loss of 2%, for example. Okay, so net, right, we are still profitable because we are still profitable 3%. So this is what system trading is about. Okay, so net, we look at the end outcome. Okay, but you know that human, it's tough when you have a sell signal like this, and then you make a loss, and then you see a bullish signal like this. I think it's very hard to enter, okay, and make back the losses. All right. So therefore, later on, I will show you how we can overcome all these signals, okay, so that we try to minimize the losses. Not saying that you do not have losses, but more of we try to minimize the losses. And I want to say one thing, right? Not everyone will take the signals, okay? Because, I mean, there was one which I thought that I was talking very, very strongly on that. And you know that is the famous CSE, which is 544. I mean, just to remind those who wasn't in this trade here. So that was the bullish signal. And I think that I talk about why it was a very good bullish signal, why this was a very good pattern. I explained the 10 years pattern that we saw in CSE here. But then when I asked the community, right, how many of them took the trade, and they said, oops, no, we didn't take the trade, we didn't take the trade because it was too high. But high actually got higher, right? Our entry was 73, and then it went to a high of $1 here, okay? Do I share the signals from TradingView with the community? I share my watch list. It's in the course already. The link to my watch list is in the course. And then it depends on your own TradingView plan, which I will talk about that later. Okay, so let me just explain how things works. Okay, so if you take a look at the next one, which is Meng Niu, right, 2319, take a look at the outcome. Okay, I don't only want to show you the good ones, but I want to show you every one that we had, right? So this was a small bull signal. Okay, so the small bull signal here, right? Small bull means that it's not a large bull. It's not a very, very strong signal. All right. a lot of time we use a small bull signal to help us take profit. All right, to tell us that it's an indication that probably the trend might be coming to an end, right? But it doesn't mean the buy. Okay, so you can see that from Meng Niu here, the price movement was down. And if you are buying, then you are actually trading against the trend. So still, even if the signal is to come in, remember the whole basis is that TAT, right, provides me a screening function of my stock list. That means I already have a stock list, a stock that I wanted to have, right? But I cannot be monitoring 1 or 200 or 300 stock at any one point of time. So what I will do is that I will send TAT to go and monitor them and tell me as and when there's an alert, then I will go and take a look. So this is the whole idea here. So unfortunately, Meng Niu is not in my core stocks that I'm trading. And later on, I will show you a very, very easy way, right, to differentiate and why you shouldn't be even taking this particular trade. Okay, so this one, if you want to say that, okay, what is the small bull here in terms of outcome, I can tell you that, okay, it is a loss, but then it's not supposed to be a signal for us. All right. And lastly, if you take a look at this one here, which is Namchong, which again is stocks that I don't trade, but just to show you the outcome, I mean the randomly, right, outcome. Okay, so this is Namchong, which is listed in SGX, and then there was the bullish signal here. Okay, so let me just show this here. So there was a bullish signal here, and it was a large bull, and the large bull happens when it was 745. Okay, if you, let's say, enter the trade, you entered at same point, same price, 745 or 75, then right now it's trading at about 845, okay, with the high near to 90 cents. So this would be your 10 to 20%, 10 to 15%, sorry. So if you take a look at the 3 signals that was randomly picked up, okay, these are the 3 signals that was randomly picked, right? Then this one here is a small bull. Okay, so that is a downtrend, pretty much a downtrend. So this one here, gap up. Okay, and this one here also moved up an average of 10 to 15%. So we do have 2 trades that win and 1 trade that has a minimum loss. I mean, still a loss, right? Okay, but the one that won, right, went up quite substantially. Okay, so this is the whole idea here. So if you want to know the profitability, unfortunately, that I do not have. I don't have this information. But what I do have is I do have my own portfolio. So this was a screen cap of what I capture of my portfolio about 2 to 3 weeks ago. Okay, right now it's down a little bit because the market correction, but it's still looking at an average gain of about 70 to 80%. So the returns is actually fantastic, and that is my results. Okay, so these are the 2 portfolios that I manage for my friends, right? My other portfolios, some are returning about 50% for conservative year to date. Some are doing about 70, some are doing about 150% for my more aggressive portfolio. So these are really the moderate portfolios that I managed, or rather, I won't say I managed, but these are TAT signals, and I just let my friends know. They trust me and they trust TAT, and they took 100% of the trades that TAT found. Okay, and they are in my portfolio, they're in my stock list. Sorry. So that again, that past performance is not indicative of your own results, because as I've proven, whenever I share a trade, not many would want to do it, not all of them. Okay, so Bonnie asked whether accept stocks can be used on indexes and commodity. Yes, TAT can be used in almost any instrument here. So there are 2 parts of TAT that scans or gives you the notification. Now, one part is what we built into TAT. Okay, we call this a screener table, and this is exactly what you're seeing here. So this is a screener table. Now this screener table, right, what it does is that you have to key in the symbols yourself. Okay, for example, what I did here is I key in Nikkei 225, I key in Forex pairs, I key in stocks, I key in Apple, I key in gold. So I have keyed in these myself, and that one chart tab. Okay, so what do I mean with one chart tab? Let me just explain that to you. Okay, one chart tab here. So this is one chart tab here. Okay, so this is one chart tab. This is two. This is three, and this is four. Okay, so 5 and then 6 here. All right, so these are 5 chart tabs, TABS tabs all together. Now, if you have a screener table, you are able to insert 25 symbols into each tab. Okay, so for example, these can get you 25 symbols for you to scan. All right, now this number 2 can get you 25. So if I have a total of 6, that means that each one I have 25 here, and then this is 25 symbols, and then this is 25 symbols, right? Which means that 25 times 6, I have 150 symbols of a time frame that I can scan and monitor. So for example, this particular symbol, I will put in a day 1 time frame. Now this one, I will put in a 4-hour time frame, and then this one, I will put in a 1-hour time frame, right? All of them are of the same symbols, okay? Same symbols, right? It means that TAT can monitor day, H4, H1, M5, M15, or 1 minute, or even week, right? On whichever symbols that you put in, okay? So in this case here, when you have 6 tabs here, I will get 150 symbols of a single time frame. However, one thing I want to share is that when you are using this screener table here, all right, the restriction does not come from us. Okay, the restriction comes from your trading view plan, meaning that if you have a free trading view here, free trading view plan, can you use TAT? The answer is yes, you can use it. You can use our screener table. Now this will gives you a free trading plan, right? It will gives you 2 tabs maximum. Okay. Now then, in this case here, can I just ask, how many symbols can you put in these 2 tabs in total? How many symbols? I have students from Zoom already telling me the answer. Yes, it's 50. That means the maximum you can only put 50. Okay. Now, so the question that you might have, if I have TAT, can I use it for free in TradingView? The answer is yes. However, will there be restriction? The answer is yes as well. You are restricted by your free TradingView plan. Okay, so then the next question is that how can you get more symbols? Then you have to pay for a TradingView plan. All right, so the higher plan that you go, the more expensive plan that you have, right, the more functionalities that you're gonna have. That means that the more symbols you can get, because you can have more tabs. Okay, so it's the same as buying your iPhone. So iPhone has the basic entry model, and you have the Pro Max, which is the most expensive one, the very sophisticated with a lot of features, a lot of functions model. All right, so this would be the restriction by TradingView, not by us. Okay, all right. So hope that this one clears up for you to understand a lot more on how we scan. So what I would do is that for this screener table, I find that it is especially useful when I'm actually trading into Forex, indices, gold, or crypto, because these are the lower time frame trades, right? And what I'll do is that I will set the time frame to here, right? And then set them into a 4-hour or 1-hour time frame to monitor, and becomes very useful to me to monitor those tradable products, which is FX, on gold, indexes, etc. Or rather, I won't say tradable, but those which are commonly traded products. Okay, now I'm just going to pause here so that you can understand what I'm talking about. Any question here? So this is the first way that we are using the scanning function to screen for trades. All right. So basically, what we will have to do is that we just go to our platform here. Okay. And then this is TAT. All right. So let me just show it to you. And once I activated that, I just go to the setting, scroll down. You realize that there are all these symbols I can key in. So for example, if today I don't like to monitor on pound dollar, I want to monitor on for example, SGD versus JPY. I mean, because you would like to know about maybe the FX movement, etc. Right? So yes, there was a signal, which is a small little bear, which is a counter trend trade of SGD versus JPY on the day, and then when it happened, it's actually happened on quite a long time ago. Okay, so that's how we monitor that. Okay, so this is the first way. Now the second way, if you look at the video, all right, the second way is where I said that you can monitor and scan 1,000 symbol. Okay, how is this being done? Now 1,000 symbols means that what I will do is that I would key in, or rather add all the stocks or the trades that I'm interested in to my watch list. So this is the watch list that contains 1,000 stocks. And then what I've basically have added are Singapore stocks. Then here they are the Hong Kong stocks. Okay, so these are the Hong Kong stocks. All right. And then lastly, a huge portion I've added would be the US stocks. Right. Now, it's really a lot, right, to monitor for Hong Kong, for US. So altogether is a long, huge list. Okay. So of course that I have different watch lists here, but this watch list basically the watch list that I will put TAT to scan. That means that as and when there is a signal that meets TAT criteria, then you would just pull out for me and then notify me via email or via notifications or via any other form. Okay, so Pauline asked, do I share the signals from TradingView with the community? The answer is no. All right, will this be done? The answer is yes. Okay, so we're going to roll out in phases, but at this moment, right, I am applying TAT to my 1,000 stock list here, right? So that includes Singapore stocks, Hong Kong stocks, and US stocks. So that whenever there is a signal, it would be sent to my email or to any place I indicated. Some students even wrote a script and then sent it into an Excel sheet so that they can, tally the Excel sheet easily and to scan, to know which are the signals that happen. Okay, so this is how it's being done. Right now, just to let you know, let me just turn this screener table. Any questions on the screener table? If not, I'm just going to turn it off already. All right, so we have this very easy. We just have to uncheck that and then you will be gone. Okay, now, so there was a signal which in fact that I didn't know. I mean, I didn't know about this company. It's not that something that I would pay attention to. It's just not in my portfolio. So this was something which I show. And of course, are there other trades? There was recently F03. No, what is the code for Wilmar? F34. Okay, F34 for Wilmar that came out. So this was Wilmar signal that came out here. Okay, was this is Wilmar something that I actively monitor? No, it is not. Wilmar, is it in my watch list? It is, but is it on a higher rank? It is not. Okay, but when Wilmar came here with a signal, it does catch my attention. Okay, why was that so? Because I read that Wilmar CEO, I read in Straits Time, right? Wilmar CEO has been actually buying the shares aggressively. Okay, he bought quite a fair bit of shares, right, when it was coming down. Okay, and in the newspaper, it reported that he probably bought it about 2.8 average a share, if I'm not wrong. Okay, or 2.9 via his investment vehicle, right? So when I read this piece of news and then the signal came, and that caught my attention, my interest, and what I did was to go inside the week, and I realized that there was also a bullish signal, which I told the community. So I shared with the community, and of course we went through the analysis. For example, the analysis of Wilmar was that it is very much downtrend. All right, it doesn't fit my criteria because it's pretty much a downtrending stocks, huh? All right, but what I was attracted to was that Wilmar was where the CEO bought, huh? That's about 2.8, I believe so. At that point of time, the price was really near to the low. You see that? Okay, so it was near to this low here, which was a historical low, and then it was also near to this one here. Okay, the thing is that low can get lower, but coupled with where the CEO bought and it was a low point here, that got my interest. Okay, that means that via the scanning, I was able to know Wilmar. I was able to benefit from it when it actually went higher, near to the $3 region. And then the highest it went was about 336.35, and then right now it's retracing. But with TAT, with the screening function, I was able to discover these stocks, and likewise I was able to discover CSE. Okay, so this is how with the screening, that helps me. Okay, any question here? Of course, I would do my own analysis and then would share all this to the community. Okay, but the thing is that whether they picked it up or they decided to do anything, it's your decision. It's the community's decision. I mean, I can only brag about it to say, hey, look, this was a good signal. But again, that I want to be responsible. Later, we're going to take a look at the historical signals. There will be failed signals. So yes, I do want to apply some form of a filtering to all this, especially when you're using stocks. Okay, so far, any question here? Okay, so I want to sum up as that if you want to minimize your time, you want to really have the financial freedom where you are still having a regular income job, that would be, it's a risk-free money, all right? And then you don't want to miss any trades, but you still want to go for your movies, you still want to go for your dinner with your friends, or you still want to go for travel, then the screening function is very important, because that's where you're going to pick up a lot of opportunity that you never know of before. Okay, all right, any questions, especially for assisting students, on how we use this two feature? One is the screening table that's available for free. The other one is the watch list, scan by watch list, which is to scan and screen the entire watch list. Now this feature to scan the entire watch list, it's being determined whether you can use it or not. It's being determined by your trading view plan. That means that if you have the higher end trading view plan, which would be premium and ultimate, then only when you have these two more expensive plan, then you can use the table, you can use the scanning via a watch list feature. That means that you want to scan your watch list, you must have the higher trading view plan, the more expensive trading view plan, right? If you do not have, the only way that you can scan is via our input, which is this screener table here, the one that I've showed you just now, this one here, okay, which is called the screener table. All right. Will you show? Will I? Will you? I would whether I will show you how to set up TAT in TV when we sign up. The answer is yes and no. All right. So we already recorded a video or various video in the lesson so that we can teach you. We already show you how it's being set up. That's number one. So whether I will show you, I already recorded. So I think that's yes. But I think whether we're gonna like guide you one by one, the answer is actually no. But however, when you sign up, we do have support classes. That means support classes every Wednesday, 12:30. We do have a support team that you can ask them, all right, and they will be able to help you. So I think the question is whether I will not. Okay, because I'm not in the support team, right? I have a team who will be doing that for you. Number three, whether I will be there to guide you, yes, every Wednesday, 12:30. Okay, it's the lesson that you have with me. All right, and then you can ask me questions there. And it's better that you ask me questions during that session. All right. TAT indicator is renewable after the TOR Pro program. Yes, it is. Okay, it is renewable. Okay, now, so this is one part here. The second part of what I like to show you is what can you do to add things, right, for your stock screening so that it becomes very obvious in terms of the trade that you want to take. Okay, and this part here, my assisting students doesn't know about it. So assisting students, please, listen carefully. Higher TV plan is premium plan or essential will do. Now, if you want to scan via the watch list, there's only two plans. One is premium and the other one is ultimate. The rest all cannot scan via watch list. Okay. Now, are we doing something to help our clients? The answer is yes. Okay. But it's still work in progress. It will be launched very likely Jan next year. Is it chargeable? Yes, it is chargeable. But is it expensive? No, it is not. It's probably in the range of $20 to $30 for a year. It's so much cheaper versus if you were to go to TradingView. Okay, but again, that right now has a TradingView Black Friday promotion, and according to TradingView, it's having a steep discount. You might just want to go and take a look at it. Okay. So yes, there's a tutorial to show you how to set up. Yeah. All right. Now this one here, this second part, which I like to show, that means this part here, at least for the stock screening, right? Especially on stock screening. It's where you really want to okay, so first you have to understand what TAT is trying to scan. Okay, so what TAT is doing is that there are a few components here. Number one is after a lengthy consolidation, TAT will monitor all this lengthy consolidation, right? And to pinpoint to you an entry point probably at the end of this consolidation, meaning that these are consolidation. It doesn't pinpoint here. It doesn't pinpoint here. The feature of TAT is that it pinpoint at the end of the consolidation such that we hope that if you buy in after that, it's bursts up. Okay, something like this one here. Okay, so if you look at the movement of price, right, it always goes up and then down and then up, down, up and then down, right? So TAT monitors into the end of this down and hopefully get you in, and after that you would explode upwards. Okay, likewise, for example, so this is the current price of CSE. What TAT does is that there are various levels here. Okay, so these are the predictive levels. That means that these levels are predicted. Okay, that means that we calculate these levels via our AI. Okay, I'm using bombastic word here, but it's really calculated via our AI and then generated, and then we calculate a possibility of a possible support. Okay, so it means that before price even drop, we are able to know the price already. So this is the second capability of TAT. Okay. Now, why do I say so? For example, 92 was predicted, 905, 89, and 88. These are the levels. Okay, so it's going to be a one whole zone here. But if you take a look at yesterday price movement, it stopped nicely at 92 and rebound. Okay. All right. So, I can only say that if you have been using TAT, then you know that how magical these levels are. Okay. So same thing, what TAT is doing right now is that it is monitoring into this price action, 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 and then all the different price actions, and it's monitor them right now. And when it comes to the optimal point, all right, into this zone here, and it produces a signal, then it will generate an arrow, something like this one here, depending on what type of signals is generated. Then this signals will be sent to your email, to your mobile phone, to whatever that you've indicated. And then you can use this to notify yourself. Okay, so that's two functions here. One is the predictive functions, features of TAT. You're able to know all these very important price levels. And second thing is that it will calculate for you so that when a signal happens, then you will be alerted. Okay. However, there would be many different signals. And the question is that how do I filter them? Okay, so what I like to do is I like to use this ribbon here. Okay, you can use two moving averages. You can use a ribbon. It's up to you. All right, so you just key in MA ribbon, EMA, in trading view in this place here, and then you will pop up this ribbon. Okay, so this is a ribbon here, right? So what this ribbon does is that it gives you trend very clearly via moving averages. Okay, so for example, in this ribbon here, it has a 20, because right now we're in a day chart. So this is a 20 day, is a 50 day, 50, 100, and 200. So the moving averages, they are lagging indicators, but they do tell us trend very nicely. So what happened was that prices stay in the range for a long time, and then it broke out. Okay, now when I say a long time, right, I was referring to that it has been in this range for 10 years, from 017 to 2025. Okay, sorry, not 10 years, but how much was that? 8 years. Okay, so this is 8 years flattish movement. For 8 years, it has been non-stunning. It doesn't even it doesn't move well. Okay, now however, around here something happened, and it starts to break out of this channel here, or consolidation. What it means is that fundamentally there could be a change in the business, and right now people are willing to endorse a higher price. Okay, now by endorsing a higher price, it moved the average prices higher, and hence these moving averages are slanting upwards. But by adding in a moving averages or various moving averages, you realize that this signal that's being produced here as a with the trend signal. Am I right to say that? Because the trend is going up and it gives you a buy signal, all right, it means that this is a with the trend signal. Is that right? Because what I like to do is I don't only like to give you that signal. I want to show you the logic, because that's where you can get your knowledge and you can get your skill, right? Okay, and I think this is very important. So we have this as a bullish signal, and then I also want to ask you one question. Do you see this small little bear here? I mean, as bad as small little bear. Do you see it? Yes or no? Yes, right? Okay, then can I ask one question? This small little bear, it's a down signal. All right. But what is happening to the moving averages? The moving averages are opening up and tilting higher, which in fact are telling you that prices on the average are rising. So this small little bear, when it produces this bearish signal, in the first place, a small bear is not for you to sell, right? But when it produces this signal, what it means is that it's a counter trend signal. It is not supported by the moving averages, because then you are trying to sell on a very, very strong uptrend. So this is not the right way to do it, because then you are totally against the trend. Now, even at this point, all right, and what's the trend showing? Up or down? What's the trend showing? Up or down? Up, right? Yeah, just waiting for those in Zoom to let me know. It's up. So if you are trying to short here, then you are shorting into an uptrend, and then that will become a super counter trend. So this is not what TAT is set up for. Okay, all right. So again, that going into Meng Niu just now, that's why I said that it wasn't a good trade, right? Because you see, we had a small bull here, okay? But if you take a look at Meng Niu, right, then you put in your moving averages and you have the small little bull here. You realize that this small little bull is a counter trend trade. Okay, all right, it's a counter trend trade, right? Because the moving averages are actually wide opening, and is telling you that it's down, because then it's slanting down, acting as a resistance. All right, so let's talk about, for example, 1910, which is Samsonite again. So this is Samsonite. All right, so same thing, and that's where I'm going to come already, right? When you are having this set of a sell signal here like that, would you want to short it? The answer is yes, because then it is part of this downward trend already. Okay, it makes it logical to short it. All right, but then when the bullish signal comes by, then this bullish signal is where it is a counter trend signal. Okay, so that's why that not all the trades I want to take, okay, and not all the trades, right, it's going to turn out to be successful, but not all the trades. But if you are like a machine, then you will say, okay, if I short and then if it turns against me, all right, that's where I'm going to initiate a cut loss, and probably that I can shift it into break even, and that would even get me out, still in a profit. Okay, but what is interesting here is that, let's say for example, if you are interested in Samsonite, because of this movement here, the moving averages has actually turned up. So what TAT does is that it will continue to monitor, and then you will say, okay, now since the moving averages has already turned up, so TAT is predicting this level as its first support level. Okay, all right, so this level as the first support level, that means that if it ever comes back down, then we want to take note of this support level, and then we will be waiting for bullish signal around this support level. Okay, so same thing, right? We are going to if we can use the moving averages, it's going to be very, very interesting. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to also show to my assisting student, okay, something which so again, that this is one of the trade that I did. All right, and I'm not sure whether you remember, Nvidia was a trade that, so this is the alert that's by the FX, huh? Okay, I'm not sure whether Nvidia, you remember this trade here, we had a bullish signal here on Nvidia. Okay, yes or no? Do you remember this for assisting students? Yes, right? Because I mentioned this Nvidia. Okay, and what it did, right, was that it's actually moved up and then came down and then moved up again and then hit the TP. Huh? All right. Now, so along the way, why was this signal something which I highlighted? Because if you turn on the ribbon, you realize that the bullish signal here, this one, is in the direction of that ribbon. Okay, that means that the moving averages are acting as a support to support priced movement. And you know, if you are going long here, you are longing in the direction of the trend, which is up. Okay, can? Now let's take a look at then when the small bear appears. So there will be this small bear that appears, you realize it, and the small bear that appears was actually countering the upward movement. Okay, the movement is actually generally upwards and is countering the movement. So this small bear, what it does is to let us know that, okay, there might be some form of a minor correction to come, but it does not mean that you want to sell out, or it does not mean that it is going to drop. Okay, because end of the day, all right, it is a small bear, and then it is still part of this trending situation. Okay, it's still trending upwards. Okay, now same thing if you take a look at that in NVIDIA, we do have a couple of short signals that came. A large bear when it was here, and then small bear then it was here. And then did NVIDIA drop? Yes, it went lower. All right. But generally, what you can do here is that if you're still interested in NVIDIA, for example, all right, then, you know, when you have TAT, TAT would help you to monitor to say that in this uptrend, all right, in this still an uptrend here, right? Where is that tipping point? So this is the tipping point. That means price corrected, and then when the bullish signal came, it go zoom upwards, right? So same thing when this is correcting, right? You don't want to get in anywhere. You want to get into the point, right, before it moves up, before it explodes upwards. So in this case here, it will monitor for you this consolidation until it is happy to go up. Then it will give you a buy signal because the trend is still up. All right, our trend bar is still showing that it is up. Okay, all right. So now these are historical signals. What I want to show you is that maybe a line chart will look easier. Now what I want to show you, right, is that not all the signals will be correct. Especially that you don't want to choose those counter trend. So for example, in this case here, the sell are super counter trend. So these are indication for us to say that, okay, you want to take profit, you want to you know, consider trimming position or take profit. But you take a look at all the bullish trend. That means all the bullish signal here. So these are all the bullish signal here. Here, 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 all right, that ever existed, right, for NVIDIA. They all happen after price bursts up and then starts to correct. It gives you that before it explodes upwards. It explodes upwards and it starts to correct, and then it gives you a signal before it explodes upwards. Then it corrected, it gives you a signal, it corrected, and then it gives you a signal. You know, these are what TAT is all about, and this is where I find it super useful, because I know that this is a trending stocks, but I don't want to buy when it's here or here. Well, eventually I still make money. I mean, I don't want to buy when it's here or here. Well, eventually I still make money. But the thing is that if you can just buy it at the lower side, it's fantastic, isn't it? It will gives you that sureness to say, okay, the moment I bought it, as long as it's in the trend, I bought it towards the end of the correction, and then when it bursts up, it really moves up a lot. Okay, now there will be a lot of ways for you to use it, especially for those who are doing options. All right, you find that TAT will be just perfect to use it. Now let's address this part here. Okay, I want to answer what is opt boo or what is whatever, because if you want to ask me, then the Wednesday session would be the best place to ask that. and I explained that in my recording also. Okay, now next question. So you see, so I gave you and I've shown you a lot of wonderful signals. All right, now these are all the historical signals, and it works in the same principle. For example, this one here, right, was one of the historical signal that happens. It works in the same principle, right? Things goes up, comes back down, we have a buy signal, goes up, comes back down with a buy signal, it goes up, comes back down, we have a buy signal here, right? And it fit the same criteria, it's the moving averages, etc. But why is it that this up bull, so this signal here, right, why is it that it failed? Okay, because I want to be very frank to you. There is no such things as 100% a signal will be successful. Okay, all right. More important is that when that signal point to you, and it happened, if it's successful, then it wants to let you ride and for trade to travel far. So this is the key thing here. Okay, so you realize that they are wrong signals, yes, right? But when it truly happened and it's correct, then you know that TAT, right, points to a lot of bullish signal when it's actually coming down. That means when it's heading down, this is where all the bullish signal comes. Okay, so yes, I do have losses in my portfolio, some of them, but because when I see, let's say for example, I make a loss here, right? Lose out. Okay, cut loss faster. And when I see this, all right, and I enter, you realize that the entry result in a long upwards that let me covers back my losses. So if there are no wrong trade, wow, I'm telling you a lie. They are. But what I'm trying to say is that because of the nature that TAT signals are, it always point to you at a low side. Okay, and there are ways to overcome it. Okay, for example, if you can put in the moving average, this particular moving averages or any form of moving averages, all right, you want to choose, let's say for example, you are doing a counter trend. You want to choose those signals that can already beat its moving averages. Okay, meaning that, what do I mean by beat its moving averages, right? You see that there are signals that doesn't move above moving averages, but there are signals that move above moving averages. Okay, so I'm referring to the bullish signal. So when signals that move above the moving averages, like for example this one here and this one here, right, what it does is that it closed above this moving averages here, right? That means that it is willing to beat its moving averages. Same thing for here, right? So these are better signals. Okay, so for example, when you look at this small bear here and a large bear here, right, it doesn't beat its moving averages. Okay, that means that it doesn't close below the moving averages. Then these are lousy sell signals. Okay, that means these signals are not that ideal. Okay, I just give you, in terms of my own stock list. All right, so this is usually my stock list here. And then if you take a look at Microsoft, for example, okay, so this Microsoft had a bullish signal here. You see, this bullish signal beat its moving averages because it overcame all the averages, the moving average, as a resistance and closed above it. And that's why from here, 509, it went as high as 550. Okay, see, a huge rise up. All right, then take a look at this one here where there was a bearish signal. Okay, so this one was a bearish signal, right? And why was this bearish signal successful? Okay, because this bearish signal managed to close below also its own moving averages. Okay, so it's already below the moving averages, already below. Okay, but it also went below this moving average. Okay, so this is how I use it to scan and to reject certain signals. Okay, for example, one of the question is right now, how do you know when to take profit? So this is AMD, and I also mentioned about AMD. So you see that AMD, right, also had a bearish signal. Okay, so this was a bearish signal, right? At least this bearish signal can beat, that means that can close below the moving average. Now you take a look at this bearish signal here. Does it close below the moving average? Yes or no? Waiting for an answer. Does it close below the moving average for this particular moving average? For this particular signal, yes or no? Does it close below the moving average? The answer is no. Okay. Now this one here, at least it does. So it has a better signal. That means it's a better signal. Okay. All right. Then the next question is that how do I know, when to take profit? Is that we already also built in the TP level. That means we have the TP level, which is 259.39 for AMD as a reference. Okay. So for example, this one here was AMD. There was what AMD did was this, it went up and then came down. Okay, and then it produces an optimal bull level. Okay, is this op bull level good? Yes, it is good because it's after a consolidation, after retracement. And then has it beaten its own moving average? Yes, it closed above it. All right, it failed, blah, blah, blah. That's where we need to cut loss. Okay, then we have two bullish signals that appear again, which means that it didn't appear here, it didn't appear here, it didn't appear here, never, or only appear here. And you realize that after this, it actually went so much higher. So for this, all right, let's say, for example, if you take a look at this and you enter here, it went to as high as 80%. But if you have bought in here, for example, and you initiate a cut loss of, let's say, 20%, okay? So net, you are still profitable. You are not profitable if you took this and you never take this. All right. So it's the whole way that what tech is supposed to behave, right? Tech has a signal and it's towards the end of a retracement or consolidation, and we aim for explosion. And then the key thing is that it's going to travel a lot further. But will there be wrong trades? Definitely there will be. Okay, definitely there will be. But then there will be ways for you to overcome it, right? Which is if you can just trade in a direction of moving averages. Okay, all right. So for example, we do have various of a small bull here, small bull here, small bull here, but you know that they are all not beating its own moving averages. Okay, so that means it's like a counter trend. All right. Any question here? I can show you really a lot of trades. Like for example, this was where I recently traded into ARM. I know that it's a little bit more a little bit complicated, all right, but let me just share with you. So there was a bullish signal here, so that was this bullish signal, all right. Then later on came this bearish signal, but it didn't even beat its own moving averages. Then later on came another bearish signal. Okay, let me just show it to you. Okay, so this was another bearish signal. You realize that this bearish signal, it beat. That means that it traded below its own moving averages. Okay, all right, you see, it traded below its own moving averages. What does it mean? So this is one bearish signal that I, decided that it should be the one that I need to pay attention to. All right, that's where I got rid of my trade in ARM. Okay, that means I have a long here. All right, and then I actually exited here. Okay, because this one beat its moving averages. Okay, all right. So if you can, do put in the moving averages for existing students. All right, because this is something which I'm going to talk about tomorrow. If you can, right, you can put in the moving averages for your stock scanning. It becomes very easy, right, for you to pick up those correct signals. All right, so for example, if you're looking at ARM here, right, and you say, okay, it's already moved down quite substantially. I want to look for price to buy, right? But the thing is that, are there bullish signals? The answer is no. Then what do? You wait for the bullish signal to happen. All right. And then if you want to further reinforce your scanning, you look for one that can beat means that can close above any one of the moving averages. Okay. All right. Any question here from assisting students and from those in YouTube? Okay, I think I took quite a lot of time to explain this. All right, so let me just say one thing. It's that where the EMA also work for FX, huh? It works totally for anything. So you can add these for stock screening, and tomorrow I will explain that more. So Justin asked, we use the 2155. I prefer this. It's just that this moving averages, this set, right, it's available in TradingView, and you can easily find it. And I just took the standard setting, which is 20, 50, 100, and 200. Yeah. Ribbon is also better for stocks usage, or can it be used across other instruments? It can be used across other instruments. Although that I find that for FX and indices, you probably just want to use 2 is enough. But for stocks, right, because we still use the 200 as an indication of long-term trend, so that's why we put in this set of moving averages. Okay. All right. Now, so if there's any other questions, you can ask me, and I hope that you can join my course. And because this is usually how I share with my students, usually how we guide our students, not only to guide them in terms of what they need to look out for, all right, but also to share with them knowledge, all right. Again, that whatever on TAT related, then you can ask me on Wednesday, 12:30. Okay, so now let's go through, for those who haven't attended my course yet, for those who want to take up this package, it's better that you take up as soon as possible, because next year in Jan, right, there will be a price increase, and minimum we're going to increase to 2,005. Okay, but you will likely be nearer to 3,000. That means that we are talking about a very steep price increase here. So we are still selling this course for $1,500. We are not pushing very hard for this course. The reason being that it's okay that you can take it next year, because then next year it will become more revenue for us. Okay, because we are confirmed we will raise the price. So what do you get right now? You get a TAT strategy. You get complimentary 12 months the alien hand holding, which is the 1-year coaching session. Okay, so that would be done 4 times a week for 1 year. Okay, that means that every week it will be 4 times a week and running for 52 weeks, except for the last 2 weeks of December. That's usually we have a break. And there's a complimentary 15 months of TAT indicator. I just want to make a remark on this. Actually, you realize that I did 3 sessions, and this is the 3rd session this month. The first session I only gave 1 month, and then the second session I made a mistake. I didn't use the updated slides, and I actually communicated is extra 3 months. So I realized that I made the mistake right after I've communicated. So it's really a mistake. So I have no choice but to continue to give 15 months, which means extra 3 months. So do utilize my mistake, okay? Because next month, which is December, when it comes, I promise it will not be 3 months extra. I promise not to make the mistake. It will be 1 month only, okay? And next year, we're going to increase the price, all right? So with this, if you pay via cash, that means that you pay via cash now, pay now, or internet banking, you do get extra 3 months of TAT, which is 15 months, all right? Please register before 30th of November. Now, talk about the cashback deal. So the cashback deal is provided by 8cap. In fact, that this session, it's initiated by 8cap. So they are a very serious broker, which encourages a lot of training and updating of their clients. So that's why I'm doing this session for them. So they are providing the cashback of $1,500 cashback to the cost. That means that if you meet the criteria, then you will have $1,500 of cash into your trading account. Essentially, it also means that your cost is FOC, free of charge. On top of that, they give you a cover of the TradingView Essential Plan, and that is $155.40 USD. So it's available for new and existing 8CAP customers, but existing 8CAP customers, you must get their permission. You write to partners@8cap.com. The criteria for the cashback is that you must fund a minimum capital of 7,000. That is your trading capital, and you must trade a total volume of 45 lots in 6 months. Okay, so this is the FX lots, but you can use stocks, you can use gold, etc. to meet the volume requirement. And please open an account before 30th of December. And that the cashback due will be gone, no more. All right, with the amount reduced when we come Jan 2026. That means that in Jan 2026, TOR Pro cost will increase, cashback amount or cashback due would reduce. All right, so this is the best time. Do it before no more already. Okay, what is the volume requirement? That means you have to trade. So we do not accept such that the students come back and tell us that I need to refund because then I can't get the cashback due. Okay, the whole idea is that you can take the cost. That means you can pay for this cost and you don't need to do the cashback due. The cashback due is just an extra to help you to reduce your upfront learning costs. And this is what I always say. I like to reduce your upfront learning costs because I've been training for a long time. Not everybody is successful. Not everybody is able to do trading. Just like my daughter, right? She's very much a arts person. That means that she's good in writing. She's not too good in math and science. I mean, I have to force her to do math and science, right? But my son is very much a math and science person, not an art person. All right? Even though they're born from the same parents, same set of parents, but they have unique personality. So same thing, right? Even for trading, not everyone is meant to be or can be successful in trading. All right? So that's why my intention is that you have an low startup cost so that you have higher chance of being successful. All right, so that's why we are offering this cashback, but please do not abuse. Okay, so let me just send through this link here on the 8caps signing link. You must use this link to sign for 8cap. If you don't use this link, this particular link, right, to sign for 8cap account, you won't qualify. So I want to emphasize again, you must use this link to identify yourself as coming from Online Forex Master or Terra Seeds so that they can give you this offer. If not, you don't qualify. Okay, especially for new assisting students, and especially for assisting students, if you want to get this promotion, you need to ask 8cap permission. Okay, so this is the email here. All right, very good. What's the schedule for the hand holding? This will be the schedule for the hand holding. All right, so today I did one at 12:30. Yesterday I did one at 4:30. Tomorrow I'm going to do one at 8:30, and then Thursday at 4:30. Okay. How many tutorial included any past recording? So this one would be once a week and for 52 weeks. It's included in the package already. So you can see, it's very, very good deal. It's super, super good deal that the assisting students are asking whether they can do the cashback again. Yeah. So you can't see my this one here, see? Assisting student, no more cashback. No more. Okay, they're asking for this cashback because they got the cashback. All right, so they're asking for the cashback. So unfortunately don't have. Okay, once per student. Okay, once per trading account, because you only can, not per trading account, per name to that account. That means that, you know, it's like you are entitled once only per name. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so don't miss out this promotion, don't miss out this cashback, don't miss out the lower price. Okay, and we are giving a lot. So we are giving you this TAT indicator, we are giving you 12 months of hand holding. So it is this one here, 12 months of hand holding, this one here. Okay, and 12 months of this one here. All right, so in all, right, 1 week you have 5 sessions. Okay, all right, 1 week you have 5 sessions if you are doing TOR Pro course. And you have it for how many weeks? For 52 weeks. So my course is really, really cheap. You have this for 52 weeks, and every week you have 5 sessions, and we are giving you TAT indicator as well for 15 months, and we are also providing you with the cashback. So you have to see the rationale, right, or why we are increasing the price next year. Because next year, we're going to launch a lot more products, a lot more offerings for our existing students, okay, who have the existing package. All right, any question here? Don't have? All good? Okay. So this is the last session that I'm doing for this month. All right, next month I will do 1 more session, and that's it. And we are going to move to Jan, and Jan next year will see a price increase. Okay, and next month if I'm doing any session, then it will only be just 1 month of TAT if you make a cashed payment. All right, no more extra 3 months. Okay. All right, now no other questions. I will end my session. Thanks a lot. I hope that you can understand how we scan and how we scan. All right, and why scanning and screening is important. If you sign up tomorrow, I can attempt tomorrow night session. It will not be useful to you because you have not gone through the program. You sign tomorrow, we can activate for you tomorrow. You can attend the tutorial. I mean, you can read the modules, but I'm not sure whether it will be beneficial. But the answer is yes. But if you sign at 6 p.m., then the answer is no. All right, because we need time to activate for you. And my staff goes off at 7. All right, so we need at least 36 hours to activate your account. Okay, if you want, you can sign tomorrow, tonight, or tomorrow 9 a.m. Then you have a higher chance of attending the 8:30 session. Okay, thanks a lot. Remember to take up the promotion. If not, then I would have to see you December, where the due would be still 1,005, but only 1 month TAT, and Jan, it will be up in price. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.